Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, there are some places in this universe where you just can't deny that love is in the air. And you know what? If you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean you are in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of entertainment industry professionals, and we pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more in a light and in a conversational fashion. And you know, if you like how we do things around here, I am going to go out on a limb and assume that you do, because let's face it, you're listening right now. And if you are, keep doing that. And also, you know, mash that like button, you know, give us the old thumbs up, give us the old 5-star rating on your podcast provider of choice. We're available pretty much everywhere. Places like Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, and plus we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel, so if you can give us a like and subscribe there as well, we'd absolutely appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Letterboxd, the TikTok, the Threads, and probably some other places that I've forgotten about, but at In the Seats for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large. Because guess what? If we love to watch it and write about it and talk about it, we love it even more when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So do us that kindness and please pay us a visit. You know, love is in the air in a well, somewhat surprising way, because in the theaters now, we're talking about the movie French Girl, which kind of surprised me. It's, you know, not reinventing the wheel, but it's genuinely a sweet love story, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's the story of Mr. Gordon Kinski, played by the enigmatic Zack Braff, who is a high school teacher from Brooklyn, who goes with his girlfriend and chef, Sophie Tremblay, played by the one and only Evelyn Brochu, to her hometown of Quebec City, where she's auditioning and testing for the Michelin 3-star restaurant of super chef Ruby Collins, played by Vanessa Hudgens, who also happens to be Sophie's ex. Things get a little complicated there, and then there's drama, there's jealousy, there's family. There's a lot of fun stuff going on, and I mean, it may be the only movie to combine MMA and romance, but hell, I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. It works, and it's really an enjoyable film, and it's like I said, it's in theaters now, and we had the unique pleasure of sitting down with writers and directors James A. Woods and Nicolas Wright about sort of their inspiration for the story, which isn't necessarily a straight line from what they've done in the past to here, but for first-time filmmakers, they actually did a really, really good job with this, and I cannot wait to see what's next for both of them. But if you want to watch French Girl and have a laugh and enjoy a good love story, I'd recommend it. I really, really would. Like I said, it's in theaters now. But first, enjoy our talk with James and Nicholas, because between you and me, it's a darn good one. All right. Well, I mean, obviously, James, Nicholas, I mean, just first off, just want to say I appreciate your time. And I mean, thanks so much for being here today. And I mean, congrats on the movie, guys, man. It's super cute. I freaking loved it.
Thank you for saying that. Thanks for watching it. And it's a
we
pleasure.
literally just wanted to make a meat and potatoes, like simple. If we can convince everyone to smile for 95 minutes, we did our job. That we didn't want to set the boundaries and let's try and hit a 3-point shot, knowing that 2 points works as well.
It's great. A layup is just as good.
Exactly. You guys did a perfect job then. But I mean, I got to ask, because if you take sort of your combined career credits and draw a line to French Girl, it's not necessarily a straight line.
It's a weird
origin.
zigzag.
I gotta know the origin story of French Girl.
As children, we really sucked at connect the dots drawing. We always botched.
We're like, why don't we go Space Invaders first and then just bring it home?
Yeah.
Bring it home.
Well,
after killing a bunch of aliens,
yeah.
let's then just talk about food and family.
James told this story earlier, but at the premiere for Independence Day Resurgence, you know, it was great at Man's Chinese Theater, like total dream come true. And then we came out of the theater, and his mom, bless her, was like, there's a lot of explosions. Maybe next time do a movie about feelings and people.
Yeah, it's like, so you didn't like it, is what you're telling me. But we finally made a movie about feelings.
Yeah.
For Solange.
Listen to your mother.
For Solange Woods, my mama.
Yeah.
Well, God bless Mom, absolutely. But I mean, it's a gorgeous looking film. And I mean, I love that. I love that you make Quebec City a character as well. I mean, how important
Oh
is that?
yeah,
Yeah.
for us
To
it
really
was
shoot in the city.
it's crazy that it hasn't been exploited more than it already has. I mean, we thought, growing up in Montreal and spending a lot of time in Quebec City, it just occurred to us that would be such a luscious backdrop for a love story. I mean, there's literally a castle on the hill, and we're like, this is perfect for a fairy tale love story.
It was the lowest hanging fruit, and we're like, well, we can't be the guys, the 10th, 11th time this happens. And luckily enough, it hadn't, at least the version of, an Americanized
Yeah,
story where, an English fella from New York gets to fall in love with the French Canadian, which is the genesis of this is when Nick and I met back in 2001 on a TV show as actors. And we became really brothers, and we happened to share the same story where we had English dads who met French Canadian women and decided to take the big leap and move to Quebec. And we're like, well, we have to one day after we blow up aliens,
yeah.
let's tell that story. And luckily enough, we had Anders Bard and Valerie Dote believe in us and convince others that we weren't wrong in telling this story that is kind of the story of our lives. Why literally why we exist is because of French girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess that leads into my next question. Talk to me a little bit about just sort of finding your ensemble and particularly your French girl. I mean, Evelyn is fantastic. I love her to death.
I mean, the one lucky thing is, what do they say? Like 80% of directing is casting, and we just got really lucky that all these supremely talented actors decided to sign on to this film, and it's we're always blown away by the level of talent coming out of Quebec, and from Evelyn Brochu, Charlotte Aubin, Luc Picard, Antoine Olivier Pilon, like these are heavyweights in Quebec who each of them can open a movie on their own. Like they're all
Totally, yeah.
stars in their own right.
That really is like the gods of North Hollywood just happened to smile upon us on that given day, and they were, they said yes. I mean, it was truly crazy. And obviously, when we're talking about the William Fichtners and the Vanessa Hudgens and the Zack Braffs and the Ed Weeks, which, what a blessing that is. But then to pair them up with true movie stars, northern movie stars, was just for us like a dream come true. And we're still on that cloud,
Yeah.
Well, I love that. And I mean, you're absolutely right about the talent coming out of Quebec. It is absolutely first rate. And I mean, I'm kind of curious, as Anglophones who have now made a movie in Quebec in French, like, why do you think the breadth of talent is so deep?
Well,
Quebecois cinema.
They harbor, they nurture their talent in the sense that, it is its own community. And it's a little bit like being Finnish or Danish, you have to make movies for yourself. And I think when you have talent, you get to work more. And so these are people that through training and through just I guess being the cream that rose to the top, you're working all the time and you just get great at what you do. And so these people, it's tough to book them because they're always booked.
Yeah, and Quebecers
And I think that's why they're that good.
I think Quebecers also are cinephiles. They
Yeah.
support their own movies, and that ecosystem is very, very healthy. They love going to the cinema. They love their talent. They love their music. I mean, it's so, as James said, they nurture that, and I think they just become world class. And we were so excited to be able to tap into that.
No, also I got to ask about getting William Fichtner because I mean it feels like one of those conversations you guys would have had, like, oh, he'll never say yes, and then like,
Well,
fuck it, let's
we
just
we
call
did
him.
we did Independence Day with him, and we just immediately became best friends. This guy is like family to us. So when we wrote the script, it was pretty much with him in mind from the get-go.
Yeah.
And he read it and he was like, guys, I'm gonna do this fucking movie. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And the thing with him is
That's a good William Fichtner, by the way.
yeah, we did a lot of his looping for a while in the movie, so but eventually his voice came back. But the thing with him is he's obviously in demand. He's very busy, so we had to accommodate his schedule. But other than that, that was the only challenge. He's such a fan of us, and we're such a fan. I mean, we can't spend 10 minutes with him without talking about every classic movie that he's been in, Armageddon, Heat.
And he's also a cinephile, and he understands it's such a weird thing. Like he understands the luck that he's had in his career and his life, and so he pays it forward by talking about it and and opening his storybook. And, you know, every question you have, he's excited to give you the answer, which is like, you know, the inside baseball dream come true for two idiots from Montreal.
Amazing.
And he's literally family now.
Yeah.
So it was fun to have access to that, just like Ed Weeks is, you know, a brother. And so you call those guys and you put the script in front of them and you hope that they read it and that they believe that you didn't make a mistake in sending it their way. And you know, we got a lot of yeses. We got a lot of yeses on this one, and I think it's only good because of the people that we hoped would say yes ultimately did.
Yeah, they elevated our very mediocre dialogue. Thank God. Thank God.
Is that the secret sauce, though, for getting something like this made, to have the people like William and Vanessa say yes, actors who aren't afraid to take risks?
I think so. I mean, I think it's a travesty that Vanessa doesn't do more comedy. Like she's done the Princess Switch movies, and she's amazing in that because she plays 2 or 3 characters in one movie. But I hope she does more comedy because she's so funny and she has a musician's brain, and comedy's all about timing and rhythm. And so we had a blast working with her, and she's so game, and she just loves, having fun on set. And our job was just to create a space. We're both actors, so we know what you have to just create the sandbox, make everybody feel safe, and then that they can take risks. It's okay to fail. Let's just try stuff, and then we let them shine.
That was our favorite stuff, growing up together as actors, is when we would be given that liberty to improvise and to kind of sink our teeth into someone's writing and be able to explore and exploit what someone built the foundation, and then finally they trust you with that part. And we just started playing tennis together. And that was one of the things that we told, Zach and Vanessa and Bill, like, look, guys, we wrote a thing that now we want you guys to appropriate and just go dance, man. Like, we built the dance floor, but you guys are the movers and shakers that are gonna, make the music sing. And thankfully,
that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I write.
Hey,
Yeah,
keep it up, dude. Keep it up.
And they were able to just bring, like, Nick said, just to bring what we had given them to just, ultimate heights that we would never have been able to do on our own.
Never.
It takes a village, right?
Yeah.
Which is
For sure, no, totally. Yeah.
saying, but it's true. It's true.
So, I mean, did that sort of freedom, that rope, sort of come? Because, I mean, one of my favorite scenes, I mean, I won't say who it is, but during the funeral, when Vanessa just starts the belt, like, did that come out of just Vanessa being there, or did you guys
No,
write that?
No, it was always our job in the story was always to ratchet up Ruby, one-upping Gordon. And we thought, like, what better way to ratchet up somebody than to have her sing at a funeral of somebody she doesn't know that well. It's a big, big, arrogant thing. And we love the idea. When we cast Vanessa, we knew we had to lean into that. And James, years ago, for a while in the script, we were sort of like plugging in different songs, like, whether it was a Taylor Swift song, but you can't afford these songs. The rights are so expensive. And James is an accomplished, super talented musician in his own right. And he, with his brother years ago, had sort of written as a lark, like a Christian rock song, just as an exercise. Like, well, how would that be?
Just after a couple Sleemans.
Yeah,
Alex and I, who's in the movie, who plays the Australian chef that Evelyn Brochu's character is up against.
Yeah, and so they sang it. They played it back for me years ago. Like, we were out one night, like, Nick, you got to hear this song. And that hook, like, she couldn't wait to be an angel. And you're like, that's ridiculous. That song always stayed with us.
And through, like, the restrictions of not having all the money in the world to make this movie, we're like, well, what about this silly little music? And we sent it to Vanessa. And we were, I don't think we were expecting her to say yes, but right away she's like, guys, I love this. This is so silly.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for my character. Yes, yes, yes. And we're like, well, Vanessa, we need you to do something that's technically difficult. Sing perfectly, badly.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to tell someone who's just got such a wonderful tuned instrument.
Yeah.
To hit it almost great, and also for it to sound bad.
Yeah, a bit kitsch and a bit shit.
She just knocked it out of the park, man. Testament to her. And that's pretty vulnerable as a performer to, herself out there, and everyone knows her as, like, this wonderful musician and just this wonderful voice, and just to like bend it on the awful side.
Yeah, she was a good sport.
Now, I mean, just to start putting a bow on this, I got to ask, because I mean, obviously, you guys have been on a myriad of different sets, but this is the first time as sort of directors on a feature. I mean, is there anything that you now know at the end of it that you'd wish you'd known at the beginning?
Hmm. My God, that's a good question.
We've been asked that a few times, and like we've lived on sets since we're 20 years old, and I think I guess what we learned is every day is a new journey, and again, it's just to trust the process and to trust that you've amassed the right people to believe in you and to give you that space to do what you're supposed to do every day. And I mean, every minute is a learning experience.
Yeah, I think if you have the right team supporting you, you can, making a movie is going to war, and not literally, but I mean, you're fighting a battle every day. The elements are against you, people are against you, and we're blessed with an amazing team, amazing producers who protected us from very bad news on days they were like, we're not going to talk to them about that today. Let's get today. We'll tell them tomorrow after we've solved the problem. And so we would always get the bad news after they've solved whatever the problem was.
Yeah.
So I think the key to making a good movie is having a great logistical support.
And also some of the actors that were in the film, like Luke Picard and obviously Zack Braff, those those are filmmakers, and
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
so to have those people around, and for them to believe in the process and to tell us that we're doing okay, gave us the confidence and the trust that we desperately needed to believe in our little dream. But you surround yourself with a bunch of talented people, and then you start believing in the dream, and it was just that every day.
Yeah,
every day.
and have good craft services and good food. Feed the troops.
Have the budget for it. No, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I mean, just last question. How does it feel for both of you guys to sort of know that eventually you're going to be this movie will be on a shelf like One Behind Me?
I mean, it's so humbling. It's beyond a dream come true. We're such cinephiles ourselves. That's partly why we just became so close as brothers. We have all the same sort of cultural touchstones, and we have that DVD wall that you have as well. And to deign to think that one of our movies would end up on somebody's shelf is a beautiful thing. And
I can't wait to be on an Air Canada flight.
Yeah, that's real success.
That's the dream, baby. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're walking back from the bathroom and you see on the little screens your movie playing, then you've made it.
Yeah, I must stop, and I'd be like, by the way, I did that. Sir, can you leave me alone? I'm like, yes, please
So
continue.
But this scene coming up is fantastic. It's like you just get in the bathroom.
I'm gonna live comment on this movie. Yeah, it's director commentary.
But I mean, guys, thanks for sharing your French Girl with us and with the world. And I can't wait for more people to see it. Just again, congrats on the work, and thank you both for the time today, man. This was fun.
Thanks, David. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu-ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.